is the only way that I could be able to do this. As I've never made such a um, comparison as to what we're seeing, what we're looking at right now here. Um, as a matter of fact, I think I actually did make a comparison way back. I forgot how it's been so long. It's been a long time since I talked about Gtii on the channel. But I remember that I used to talk about the same how Gtii and AMC had a similar situation here, and it's actually still going through what I think is the same situation. Of course, dealing with naked shorts and certain hedge funds or brokers that are trying to short this down to zero. And yet there is a big number of investors or shareholders in here that is pretty much in this, like, heavy, just like AMC and GME. There's a lot of people that are heavy in GTII. And in this analysis that I'm going to be making is sort of like a little comparison as to how this algorithm, or how these two actually traded with similar traits. And I just wanted to show you here exactly what I'm talking about. Because if you can see here, we had I would like to call this, let me see. I would want to say that this here, to me, this was considered the January event, even though this took place between the beginning of February to the middle of March, or the end of March of 2021, after AMC and GME went through their debacle, pretty much like a week before this started happening. And then after that, it had its moment where it cooled off, sold off, and consolidated throughout the whole period until the next event happened here, which would be the June event. And GTII experienced a similar situation. So this would be considered the June event, even though this took place between, I want to say, even though it took a longer time to trade, this thing happened between September and the beginning of October. And so I like to make that comparison because it showed the similar traits, showed the similar scenarios in a way, even though they're two different companies with two different CEOs and whatnot. And if we actually zoom in to the second event, you can see in a way it took a similar algo, like it took a similar trajectory in the way that this thing happened. So you have, let me choose a different color here. So you had the run up right here. Then you had the sell off, a nasty dip, and then a comeback, just like AMC did. It had a nasty dip and then a comeback. And then afterwards, then the sell-off process happened, just like here, then started to try to make a comeback one more time, like so, then sold off one more time until afterwards it was just this thing trying to sell off throughout the whole time. Let me actually move this a little bit so you can actually see this here as I zoom in, because it's not going to really fit the whole thing. So I'm just going to do that. Zoom out, and then you can tell that they had one heck of a time shorting GTI, just like they did with AMC here, even though it took them a longer time. And plus, they had different scenarios where they tried to pop, but then it just kept getting shorted and shorted, just like that. Just like that. And now they're both at such a low. GTI is now at a new 52-week low of 10 cents. And we had AMC at a 52-week low of 289 around this point before bouncing back. All right, so I just wanted to make that comparison. And even though GTII is OTC stock, and due to the situation that it's going through, there was no mention of no reverse stock split or dividends or anything like that at that moment until they decided to distribute their own dividend, I think. But technical wise, they're both seen or have been seen a bottom being established. Now AMC had already gone through their bottom at 289 and it's gone crazy. And this is the situation right now for AMC. Now as for GTII, you can see that it had some attempt to actually come back up and try to rally, but then ended up becoming short, ended up getting cut short, and then having to be sold off crazy again, and now being at 11 cents. Now we're left with a situation where GTII is at these new 52-week lows, and now we're seeing GTII trying to establish a bottom at 11 cents. And the hourly here, you can see that we ended up with a bullish hammer candle. And now the 7-day simple moving average is trying to come back around and move to the upside. And if that is the situation, in my opinion, I feel like, and this is not financial advice, of course, there could be a potential for a June run for GTII and to see this bounce back and start breaking new highs, new day highs, depending on the situation at hand and what's going on with the management and all that. And I really hope it does, in my honest opinion. So for those of you holding both, I'm always wishing all of you the best and to be safe in these times. So that's just my analysis. Again, not financial advice. You're your own decision maker of your own money and your investments, as long as you're trading safely, hedging properly against what's to come as well in the markets. And we'll see what happens, because June can be very, very interesting and exciting. not only for AMC, and GME, and others, but also GTII. So keep a lookout, because we are seeing the signs, and times are indeed getting really interesting. So anyways, that's the video for tonight. Thank you for watching. Much love to everybody. Take care of yourselves, and good luck trading tomorrow and the rest of this week. And I'll see you in the next video with yours truly, Line of All Trades.